What was it like to run against the guys that you ran with in Rio?
No new faces, same guys. We're all professionals. It's cold here, but it's part of the job. It's not always going to be the ideal weather. So you handle like a professional, you get in the race, prepare for it, and execute the race. And I was blessed enough today to, one, finish up healthy, and to also get the W.
Given the conditions, given how early it is in the year, overall, you've got to be happy with your day.
Yeah, I'm pleased about it. I'm undefeated so far, so that's cool. I'm trying to keep it that way. Time-wise, wasn't really a factor, in my camp. It was just a matter of executing a strategy, warming up well because I knew it was going to be cold out, and going and executing a race and trying to win it.
LaShawn, how you compare running here versus running in the Bahamas?
Bahamas is a lot more warmer. People speak a little different.
Yeah.
It's Caribbean.
Always.
Food's a little different. But I enjoy both places.
Yes.
Bahamas was a relay. Team USA came together. They got to go to Baton. They didn't put the men's 4x4 last, but it's okay.
Yeah.
US still went out and did what we had to do. And I love the crowd here. It's a town where, appreciate it, it's a town where people know their track and field athletes throughout this meet and throughout the city because of this event. And people know this event, and I've been coming here for years. So it's a lot of track and field love in Des Moines, Iowa.
Does that kind of help your decision to come here, the fact that, okay, it might be 42 degrees and miserable, but this is the rare chance to run in America where people actually appreciate? I mean, does that factor in to come here?
Yeah, that definitely is a factor because they show the meet on TV.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of televised meet in the U.S. So whenever I can run in the U.S. and I know it's going to be great competitors because the meet director here always brings a good feel. So I know the competition is going to be good. I'm all about running with the best in the world. It's an early meet. The first Diamond League meet is next week. So I know in Doha it'll be a lot more warmer than it is here, but it's a good way to prepare for the season.
Which part of your race are you going to focus on, either improving or thought you went well today to continue?
I don't really know how the race went today as far as execution-wise. I know what I tried to do. If I would have executed it all the way, the time would have been better, but you take the weather into consideration. Your stride is not going to be as open. Your breathing is going to be a little distracted because it's so cold. Your muscles is going to be a little tight. But I'll look at it, I always look at my races afterwards and grade myself and learn from each race and look forward to the next one.
Did the cool, wet conditions change the way you entered that that first 200?
Not really. The plan for this year is to try to be a little more aggressive. So I tried to be a little aggressive. I know it was cold, but I just prayed that I would stay healthy. It's kind of difficult to run a certain kind of way in this weather, but we're professionals. You know your body. Well, I know my body by this point. I didn't run out of my element. I know it's early and I know it's cold. So I just tried to handle my lane and I ended up with the victory.
Do you feel like we make a bigger deal out of it than maybe you guys might?
No, it was cold in this weather, let alone run in this weather. This is the only meet on the circuit that the weather is this cold. Like I said, I've been here before. I brought my gloves the first time I came here, and it was this cold. I didn't have gloves, so I just came prepared. And being a professional is all about being prepared when it's time to handle business. From the time you land to where you are until you cross the finish line and do this media. I take pride in being a professional. This is my 12th year as a pro, so I just try to handle each race as it comes and just prepare well.
Was the wind anything you expect? Any different than what you expected?
It was windy. I felt the wind before we even got on the track. You know, I felt from when we came out of from under the warm-up area. So I knew it was going to be a little windy. So there was things I did. I'm a bigger guy, so the wind don't blow me around as much. You know, so I kind of pitched forward a little bit and tried to run through the wind.